What's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video I have a tutorial for you guys on the look that I'm wearing right now. I hope you will ignore the state of my hair. It's still wet and I took a shower at like 11 this morning and it's now like 4 o'clock. It's still wet. I needed to film and I needed it out of my face and I wanted it to semi-dry so I didn't do it in a cuter bun. But yeah, I hope it's not super off-putting. I know it's not super cute. So I wanted to do a tutorial using one of the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop palettes, so I did decide to use the orange sorbet one. I was talking with my friend Emily. I will leave her channel linked down below if you want to go over and say hi and check her out. But we were just chatting and she was talking about how she thought that BH Cosmetics was going to re-release these or bring them back in stock. I did look on their Instagram and they do say that they are coming back. These palettes are coming back to their website on December 12th, so I thought, hey, why don't I film with one of them, show you guys what they're like in action in case any of you were considering picking one of them up. These are really, really great palettes in my opinion. They're super pigmented. The shimmers are impactful and stunning, and you guys will see in the tutorial, I barely had to do anything. They blend out so beautifully. I didn't have to really manipulate the shimmers in any way to get them to show up beautifully. They're just stunning. Alright, so I cleaned up my brows. They were not doing very well, so I probably skipped ahead in the video because we were having a little bit of an issue. So I'm going to be taking this makeup by Mario. What is this? The Master Eye Prep and Set. This is in the shade Light. We're going to be... Okay, that's not a terrible shade match. It's a lot darker looking in the pan. I've never used this before, so a little bit of a first impressions with today's video. And then I'm going to go in with the powder that comes in the little trio, and I'm taking the other end of the brush and I am setting. I'll continue to use it and you will definitely hear about it. It was in my Shop My Stash that I've already posted. I will leave that linked if you want to check it out. Not all of the products that I'm using are from my Shop My Stash, but a lot of them are, so okay. Here's the beautiful palette. I'm going to lay down this shade right here. It is the shade Tangerine. I'm just going to I went in with a little bit light hand. I just wanted to make sure that we're not immediately going overboard with anything. So, oh, look at that, it's already starting. I think I'm going to adjust the angle of the camera because I want you guys to be able to see into my crease, if that makes any sense. I think you're at the right angle now. We'll see how this works out. So each time I dip in, I kind of tap my brush off just to make sure we're not grabbing too much. Don't want to go too crazy until I've kind of placed the shade and all of that. So I am going to kind of concentrate this on the crease, but I'm going to blend it up towards my brows. So we're going to go nice and up with that. Yeah, I mean, not blended out with no effort. We're going to go in with a little bit more and I'm going to kind of just keep building it up to where I want it to be. And you can see it's really starting to build up to be this shade. It's really starting to get there. Okay, so we're taking this shade, which is Zest. One dip into that. Anyways, we're going to start to deepen this crease here. So I'm going to start to bring those shades in a little bit, into here, because you do want to start when we're doing the halo eye, it is going to be obviously darker around the edges. I'm actually going to take this a little bit higher up. So I like to cut my crease above my natural crease so that it doesn't get lost, if that makes sense. So I am going to be taking these shadows just a little bit higher. Go back to the Sigma brush that I was using earlier. I'm going to go in with the Tangerine shade and I'm just going to kind of continue to blend up really close to my eyebrows. I'm touching my eyebrows with this brush. I'm going back with Zest and I'm just, again, kind of just going a little bit higher with it. So now I'm going to go in with this shade right here. This is the shade Extra Toppings. This is where we want to place this like kind of right where our like cut crease is going to go. So again, I'm placing it higher than my natural crease because I want it to get lost in my crease, if that makes sense. So we might have to take the shades just ever so slightly higher as we continue to add them, but it's honestly not, I don't think it's really much of an issue. So it just takes a little bit of going back and forth. And then with this shade particularly, we're definitely wanting to bring this down in here, and it's not going to necessarily show up in the overall look exactly. I'm going to go back in with this brush that I'm using for Zest, and we are just going to, again, coming back with that shade, we're taking it ever so slightly higher and really just blending that more kind of red shade out. I'm going to go back with the Sigma brush, and I'm going into the shade Tangerine, and again, just adding ever so slightly more to really, I'm going to bring back that orange color, okay? Basically, you know, we're just trying to create a gradient, right? We're just trying to create a gradient and trying to keep it. This is kind of the thing here. So I'm going to take this Extra Toppings shade, and I'm just going to kind of build it up down here. A lot of it's going to get covered, but for the most part, it's going to peak at the edges, but it will get slightly covered, if that makes sense. We're not quite ready to cut the crease. I decided I want to go in with this brown shade here. This is Chocolate Drizzle, and I'm going to just do ever so slightly a little bit of brown to really just kind of give a little bit more depth and dimension. So again, we are just putting that like right above where I would be cutting my crease. It's not gonna probably show up too much. It's not exactly darkest brown, and it is definitely red, so it's kind of starting to blend into that color, but it's kind of giving us some depth that we would otherwise not have. So I am going to bring it in just like we did with the red shade. I'm bringing this in to help deepen. Okay, so I'm just going to use the Hourglass Vanish Stick Concealer. It did an okay job when I was using it to carve out my brows, so I feel like we can use it for our cut crease as well. What I like to use for a crease brush is just something super small and tiny. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm just going to be grabbing from this, like I'm not going to use the applicator right on my eyelids because it's a little, you know, it's big and I want a lot of control. This is a Morphe brush. It doesn't have a number on it, and I personally do not support Morphe. I don't buy from them, but this is just what I have that I saw that I could grab for really quickly. So I'm gonna just kind of put on some, and I blinked, and as you can see, we now know where to cut the crease. I'm just gonna pull down from there, kind of sketch this out. So I'm kind of trying to make whatever shape that is, that's what we're trying to do, and I'm pretty much done with this one, so I'm just gonna get really close to my mirror and just try to kind of sharpen the line as best as I can. Hey, so editing Sarah here. I don't know what happened, but I lost the clip of where I was adding this shadow to kind of the outer portion of where we cut the crease. So like you can see it in this still, like I left the middle portion free of shadow, and I put on either side of it, I put the shade Citron. It's like this really pretty duochrome, and I'll kind of add a little bit more so you can see it in action, but yeah, that's what happened there, so apologies. Kind of see what we've got going on here. I'm checking the viewfinder to kind of see if there's any areas that I need to diffuse a little bit more, but I think we're looking okay. Maybe just a hair more of the Citron shade up closer here, just to really make sure, because I think that's where a lot of the light is hitting. Go in with this shade right here, which is Yum. I'm gonna take that and I'm going to use my ring finger and I'm just going to pop it there. But before I do that, I'm actually gonna go in with a glitter glue or like a glitter primer to just make sure that we're really intensifying that shade, because it's gonna be right in the center. It really needs to like pop, and if we need to, we can go in with a little bit of a glitter topper or something. So I'm gonna use the ABH glitter adhesive. This one's really easy to use. I'm just going to dot a little bit on my eyelids right here in the center, and with my finger I'm just gonna kind of dab that out. With the same finger, I'm going into the Yum shade, and we're just going to place it right in the center. I'm actually gonna take another brush, get a little bit of that Yum shade, and we're just going to go back over it. And then I'm gonna go back in with Citron, because we just wanna make sure that everything is just looking very blended and that these are kind of melting together. I will also take a little bit of that extra toppings shade and just kind of go in a little bit more here. I think we could definitely go in with a like glitter topper. Okay, and we're not even gonna do anything super crazy. I'm just gonna be taking a little bit of the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner, and I'm just gonna be kind of placing little bits of glitter and just kind of tapping it out. We don't want anything too crazy here. You don't have to do that step. I don't think it really necessarily even added all that much. I just wanted to give it a little something extra. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this away for now. We will come back to do the under eye. We are gonna pop on some lashes. I think that'll help to complete the look. It'll make the eye look a little more done. A black liner, and I'm just gonna line as close to my lash line as possible, just for the sake of putting on lashes. We're not doing like a winged liner or anything. I haven't put on false lashes in a really long time, I feel like, so I'm still trying to get used to applying them and everything. So next it's time to move on to our face. I'm taking the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I don't know if that was as like pore filling as I wanted it to be. I don't think it is at all, actually. Okay, so I'm going to take the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Primer, and I'm putting this kind of around where like my larger pores are, just because I want a little bit more of a smoothing effect. I'm gonna go back with the Milk Hydro Grip. So I'm gonna try out the Lawless Woke Up Like This foundation. I'm using the shade Oasis. Ow. Oh my god, I just broke my nail. Oh, that bottle just broke my nail off. Wow. Trying to get the cap off. Cool. So I've used this before, but I didn't remember how I felt about it. So it looks like a good color match, so we will. I want to say this is oxidizing on me a little bit, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's happening. There's like a little bit of a, I don't know, like just a little bit of like a fruity scent to this foundation. I'm just gonna bring this down my neck here. It is for sure oxidizing on me, so I'm gonna have to kind of, I don't want to get foundation on my necklace, but it smells like orange peel, which is kind of in line with the tutorial, considering we were using the like orange, was it the orange sorbet palette? So I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass Vanish concealer. I have the shade Birch that I'm using today. Okay, so I'm taking my Huda Beauty Easy Bake, Easy Bake loose powder and loose baking and setting powder. And I'm taking 2 different shades, so I actually already went in with one of the shades that's more yellow toned, and now I'm just taking a little bit of the pinker shade. This is brand new, and it, like, there's a weird cap like shoved on top of it, and it like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit of this. I've never used this before. I don't know if it's gonna be too deep for me, but we're already, the foundation already oxidized, so I think we can go in with a little bit of a bronze. I'm going to be taking the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder. Never used this before. It is brand spanking new. So I've kind of been liking actually using these powder puffs. I know I feel like most people just like throw them away, but they've actually been working out really well for me. And I don't know, I kind of like to use them now. So I'm going to go in with a bronzer. I'm taking the Flower Beauty Heatwave Luminous Bronzer, and I'm going to go ahead and just, oh! I even knew it too, and I still went in with way too much. So I'm going to go in with this Melt Blush Duo. This is in the shade Buzzkill, or like, well, it's like a duo, so like one shade is Buzz and the other is Kill. I'm going to mostly take this side, like I'm going to get a little bit of the other side in there, but okay, so I'm going to go in with the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. I'm having that trouble lately where like all the highlighters start to look pink on me because of the blush. I don't love that, so I have to grab another highlighter, I think. So I'm going to take my trusty Mary Luminizer from the Balm. It's starting to crumble. There's a lot of crumbling around the pan. I hope you can see that. But this always, I feel like I can just always trust this highlighter of the Mary Luminizer down the nose. Just a little. Hopefully we don't have the same issue I had last time I did my makeup, and then on camera, nose highlight was like very strange. I'm going to spray on some of this Fenty Beauty What It Do. Alright, this one's like so fine you can't even feel it. I feel like that kind of helps to take away a lot of that powdery look to my skin. Alright, and then I'm going back into the palette. I almost forgot. How do I always do this? I don't know, but we're going to take this shade, the Extra Topping shade, and I'm just going to kind of like connect it like up under here. I'm just taking it from like where we had blended it out, like past the eye, and I'm just going to be taking this like all the way across here, this shade right here, and I'm just going to take that and kind of just start to blend out right underneath where we placed the other shade. I know I'm kind of far away, so I apologize. I'm going to pinch this, and I'm kind of just going to run this up under my eye. Just, you want to be careful you don't stab yourself in the eye with the bristles like I just did. More of the Marc Jacobs gel liner in the waterline. Mascara I was using before, and I'm just going to hit my bottom lashes a couple of times because I always forget to do my bottom lashes. Pray for me, we're going in with setting spray, and I just put on mascara. I'll try to shield my eyes maybe. I decided to risk it. So we're looking nice and dewy. I'm just going to be taking this NYX Natural lip liner. This is looking really cool toned today. Usually that looks a little bit less cool toned, but with the eyes, it's looking very, very cool toned. So I'm gonna go in with this Natasha Denona I Need a Nude lipstick. This is in the shade Maria. I'm just taking a warmer nude gloss and putting it over, and I'm hoping that this will work. So, okay, I have one last step. I'm just gonna try something. A little bit of the Mayron Sweat and Tears to my highlight. I just feel like it gives it just a little bit extra of a glow. It also kind of, in my opinion, like smooths like the surface. Like there's less texture that I notice when I use this on top of whatever highlight I have. So I'm all for that because I do tend to have a lot of texture in that area. So this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know if you end up recreating this look. Definitely tag me on Instagram or wherever you post. I really enjoyed filming this, so definitely let me know if there's any other, whether it's certain palettes you want to see in action or a specific look. I'll see what I can do, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I hope you're doing well, hope you're staying safe and all of that, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.